You're all about improvement, making your side better, moving forward. Do you think, can you see anything about your side this season that's better? And if so, what would it be?
Well, I think it's quite similar. The rhythm we had last season, more or less, is quite similar. So we control part of the game, we create more chances, we concede few. When that's happened, it's a solid team. But to win the games, you have to be, especially in important games like Champions League or next Monday against Tottenham, you have to be so more solid and use the back, and our conversion rate in front to be a little bit higher. So against that teams, we don't have too many chances, and when you have it, you have to do it.
Because you were so good last season, by maintaining that level so far, is that in itself the improvement, being able to do it again, if you understand what I mean?
That is the target. When you win the way we won last season in the Premier League, always you have a tendency to decrease something, especially the little details, like I don't make these 5 backwards movements, or my set pieces today I'm going to defend well, or the throw-ins, it doesn't matter throw-ins, and the throw you defend well, they put it to the other side, they attack to the other side, so many things happen, and we are solid. That's why I give a lot of credit, because win and reviewing again will be so difficult. We know the schedule of the table, how tight it is, but the target is to be consistent until the end, and after we will see. And after, when we react in that way, I think we cannot have complaints about the win. We can lose, the other one is good, but important is to be what we were or what we are. That is the main target. And after, the results always will be a consequence of that. I always spoke, don't be too much focused in the results, and especially in that part of the season. Forget about it. It's just what you have to do. Focus in play, in the way you want to play. Bad or good, but improving that, the little details. Always the results will be a consequence.
Hi Pep, James Robson from The Standard. Mauricio Pochettino seems to always be mentioned in connection with Real Madrid these days. Is that natural that he will be, because is he part of the next generation of the top coaches in the world?
I think he's already top coach, not next. He's many years, he's trained at a high level. In Espanyol he did an incredible job, in Southampton, especially here in Spurs and Tottenham. So I have a lot of respect of the job he has done in his career, so he's already a reality like a manager, no doubt. And of course, linked many times, I don't know, he can answer that question, but links many times about not Real Madrid, but I don't know what happened. So what I think is Mr. Levy is not an easy guy to negotiate it, but I don't know what's happened.
And I know that you felt that he misinterpreted what you said last year regarding Harry Kane, the Harry Kane team comment, that he didn't mean it as an insult. But Harry Kane has been struggling by his standards this season, but Tottenham are still doing very well in the league. Is that just an example of how strong they are as a team?
Yeah.
Not just one player, obviously.
They show me how wrong I was.
Pep, Paul Hurst from The Times. In your first season, you changed your right back quite often. But in the second season, obviously, you got Kyle. How good is it for you as a manager to know that you can rely on someone like him to perform week in, week out in that position?
Well, it's no doubt that Kyle is our important fullback. Danilo is injured, is coming back now, but Kyle came back for the national team, struggling for this incredible calendar that all in Europe we have. Done fighting sometimes with some muscular problems, and we have to adapt. The importance of the tactic, when we talk about the tactic, is important to know exactly the players what you have to do. And sometimes John Stones is not a fullback, but he knows exactly what you have to do without the ball, and doing that, it's enough. Doing that helps to make the connections between the players quicker and faster. And that's why it's so important to talk about the players for the tactics. So when you have the ball in that position, coming that way, you do that, it's enough. And that's why John, the last 2 games, he did it in incredible way and help us to be stable and give a continuity. But hopefully Danilo come back soon, and Kyle as well, and can help us this calendar, for being there. Because of course they are better than John Stones in that position, much better.
In terms of your matches against Tottenham away down in London, they came at quite kind of pivotal moments in the season for you in your first season and second season. What did you learn from those experiences and how you improved?
In my first experience, I think White Hart Lane it was completely a little bit different than Wembley. I think Tottenham play more comfortable or feel more comfortable at home. That is going to happen in any stadium. We are more comfortable here at the stadium. We should play, I don't know, in another stadium. So, and I realized that game. I realized this is the Premier League. So I felt, wow. People say in that period, I remember, okay, City is going to win the Premier League. In that game, I realized when I saw how physical they were, how good they are, how high press, how many good things they do. So this is the team. Like the people don't think or don't consider it is going to be a contender to win the Premier League. There I settle in England in that situation. But in the return away, we make a good performance. You drop 10-15 minutes, we score 2 goals because the first season was like this. We concede few, but we concede a lot of goals. In last season, especially at home, we make one of the best performances we played. In a way, after drop this week against Liverpool and United at home, we travel there in a difficult mental conditions and we react strong. So I give credit, not the 3 points there. I give in the bad moments, we were the team we were last season. That's why that game showed me how strong we were last season in terms of mentality. Because I think we didn't play bad against Liverpool qualifying as the Champions League. I reviewed the games this season again before we went Anfield and we make a good 2 games. And after losing our fans the chance to win the Premier League against United at home, the people stand up again, react so good. And we make a good performance in Wembley against Tottenham, and day after we were champion.
Hi Pep, Sam Lee from Goal. You spoke recently about Laporte and what he brings to the team. But obviously, you've got a lot of players who bring things to the team. But David Silva gets rest, Aguero, Sane, Sterling, everyone gets rested. Laporte has played every minute in the Premier League this year, and I think in the Champions League as well. What is it about him, considering you've got 4 really good centre-backs who could come in? What is it about Laporte that makes you confident that he can play every minute, every game?
But first of all, his level. Today, for example, training session, he was so focused, so every action was there. I'm saying the same with Vincent, with John and Nico. But especially because his left foot playing on the left side. And he gives alternative for the build-up quicker and faster than the other ones with the right. When you receive the ball to the right, you have to go inside because you go to the right foot. So in the left, you go on that side. So it helps us to create this build-up and this build-up. With the right, is always this build-up. It's a little bit more complicated. That would be in the ball one of the reasons why. But of course, you have another alternatives when play Nico and Vincent in that's problem. So he's not going to play all the season, all the minutes. But like he doesn't go to a national team, like he has a break during 2 weeks. This period is fitter, he can play regularly. But when the international break is finishing and come December, January, February, of course, everybody's going to play.
So the left-footed element, is that partly why you wanted him when you first came in the first summer? Because obviously when he didn't come, you got Kolarov to play those kind of passes instead. Is that something that's obviously...
It's one of the reasons, but last season played Nico most of the time and was the best central defender we had last season in terms of consistent, seeing a lot of minutes. So we can adapt it. But in that situation, we can make a movement, like for example, the fullback drop a little bit and he go more in the middle. We can change it, It's just in that position, not just as the left, so in how his attention in the defensively, win duels, so that's why. So at the end, I can, move the squad, but at the end, when one player play good, give me confidence, so I give you another opportunity. So it's always not complicated.
Hi Pep, Jack Gorn from the Mail. Given how tight the division is this year and the 2 points separating the 5 teams, how important is it not to lose these games that could define seasons against your title rivals? Is it more important not to lose them than it is to win them?
Yeah, when you play against contenders, it's almost 6 points, no? The 3 points you win and the 3 points the opponent doesn't win. So it's important because I don't know what happened in the last decade of history in the Premier League, but that is true. That looks like the strong teams make a lot of points. They don't drop points quite easily, and that's why maybe the games against the contenders became so important. Yeah, really. And we started the 3 first games against contenders away. So that's why it's so important to take that points. But nothing is going to change. So at the end, Southampton next game at home is the same points like Tottenham. But normally, when you win against contender, you win, and he doesn't win. And it's a good side, a good point.
Is that the kind of these results this season? Is that what's changed for you as manager here? In that maybe in the first year, those results gave encouragement to some of your rivals, but you've actually not given anyone encouragement this year.
No, I don't know with the rivals. So I think the first year we dropped a lot of points. We were not able to win a lot of points against contenders. The second season, except Anfield, United at home, we won everything, all the points. So, but I don't know the other ones. I don't know. But the reality is, what we have done last season, you have to be focused in the contenders and no contenders. So we have 100 points just because we were focused in all of games.
Can I just ask about Fabian Delph? Is he fit?
Today is training with us, yeah.
Is he ready for Monday? Or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys. I just wanted to say that today is quite a sad day for the